Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is PINGKAN KANGO, and today I will explain about literature. And in this video, I will explain three topics. The first is about poetry, and then literary periods, and the last is phenomenology. Okay, the first topic is about poetry. And in this topic, I just will explain the meaning from this poetry. And about poetry, I took the poetry by Robert Browning, and the title is Meeting at Night. And for the meaning, we start from the title and then verse by verse. And the title is Meeting at Night, meaning that there is a meeting held at night. And then in the first verse, it can be concluded that someone named me was landing hard in a bay, riding a boat alone at night before dawn. And then in the second verse, it can be concluded that there was someone named I went to meet the lover is secretly, and they whispered to each other for fear of being heard by others. And next to second topic is the literary periods, and in the literary periods is two periods. One is periods of American literature, and the second is periods of English literature. And period of American literature is divided into 8 periods or age. The first is colonial period. It starts from 1667 until 1775, and in this period is the writing were for the most part religious, practical, and historical. And foremost writers in this period include William Bradford and John Winthrop. And next, Revolution age between 1765 and 1790. And the writings in this period include Thomas Paine, James Madison, and Alexander Hamilton. And the famous works in this period is the Federalist Paper by Alexander Hamilton and James Madison. And next, the early national periods start from 1775 until 1865. And this era in American literature is responsible for notable first works, such as the first American comedy written for the stage, The Contrast by Royal Taylor, and the first American novel, The Power of Sympathy by William Hill. And next, American Renaissance. This period is commonly accepted to be the greatest of American literature. Major writers include Nathaniel and Herman. And next, the realistic period. This period gave rise to regional writings such as the works of Sarah Orne Jewett and George W. Cable. And next, the naturalist period, and start from 1900 until 1914. This period is defined by its insistence on recreating life as life really is. American naturalist writers such as Frank Norrison's Jack. And next, the modern period. It starts from 1914 until 1939. And the novelists and other prose writers in this period include Julia Carter and Sherwood Anderson. And the modern period contained within certain major movements, including the Just Age, the Harlem Renaissance, and the Lost Generation. And the last is contemporary period. It starts from 1939 and until present. In this period there have been a number of important writers since 1939 whose work may have been considered classic. Some of them are Kurt Vonnegut, Ralph, and Thomas PINGKAN. And next, the period of English literature. And the period of English literature is divided into 9 periods or age. The first period is the Old English period, and the poetry written in the vernacular English section is the Old English period. That is why it is also known as Anglo-Saxon period. Beowulf, the greats of Germanic epic poems, and such lyric elements as the Wanderer, the Sufferer, and there by Christian writers which reflect the pagan past are the kind of literature works in the periods of English. And next, the Middle English period. And in this period is divided into 4 ages. First is Elizabethan age, and Jacobean age, Caroline age, and the last is the Commonwealth period. And the Middle English period is start from 1066 until 1500. And next, the Neoclassical period. In this period also divided to 3 ages. The first is the Restoration age, and then Augustan age, and the last age of sensibility. And next, Romantic period. And in this period, the characteristic of the literary works was neoclassic and romantic. This is the period of Wordsworth and Walter Savage Landor as poets. And next, the Romantic period. The Victorian period. And much writing on these periods, whether imaginative and deductive. And the well-known poets at that era was Alfred Robert Browning and Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And next, Edwardian periods. The span between the death of Victoria and the beginning of World War is named for the reign of King Edward II. Poets writers in this period were Thomas Hardy. Okay, and next, the Georgian period. This was the period in the rise of George V. Georgian poets usually designs a group of writers in the latter era who loomed large in 4 anthologies entitled Georgian Poetry, which were published by Edward Mars. And next, modern period. This period has been marked by a persistent and multi-dimensional achievement in all the literary genres. Among the notable writers are the poets Dylan Thomas and Seamus Heaney. And next, the postmodern period. This is the term applied for the era of World War II and for recent innovation in critical theory and practice and post-structuralism. Okay, and the last topic is about phenomenology. Phenomenology and criticism. The philosophical perspective and method called phenomenology was founded by German thinker Edmund Husserl. He proposed that consciousness is deliberate, intentional act. He intentionally didn't mean that it was intentionally done, but always direct at object. In other words, to be aware of something. And Platonic love. In the Plato Symposium 210 and 220. Socrates told the doctrine of eros or love, which he said simple, had been imparted to him by the wise Diotima. It's our pleasure not to linger in love caused by the beauty in one human body. And next is plot, called Aristotle myth. In plots in dramatic or narrative works formed by event and action, because these are give in order to achieve certain artistic and emotional effect. So that's it for me, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.